Hey guys, I'm Wendy Caroline Moreno and I'm 17 and I'm starting a YouTube channel. As you can see, this is my first video and I hope it's not as awkward as I feel it is. So anyways, Jesus has been talking a lot to me and I feel it deep in my heart to share that with you guys. So I'm going to be sharing what God has been speaking to me in the next couple of weeks. Maybe I'll keep it going, I don't know. Anyways, I was going to do this out here, but it is really hot and I didn't think it was going to be this hot, but it is. So I'm going to go back inside. And we're back, guys. So, as I said, Jesus has been talking a lot to me recently, and I really want to share everything that I've been learning with you guys. So, I'm going to get started. Okay. So, I had the privilege of going to the Gateway Camp, the Gateway Conference, these past few days, and a pastor, her name is Bianca. She was preaching, and she said a lot of things that really spoke to me and opened my eyes to a lot of stuff. And something that she said that really impacted my life is that everything that the enemy uses against you, God will use against him. So there's a lot of ways to interpret this, and the way that I took it, I'm not sure who my audience is, but I've talked a lot about my testimony, and I'm going to say a little bit, not everything today, but I am going to say that I have struggled a lot with suicide in the past years. I have struggled a lot with self-image, with my self-esteem. I had a really low self-esteem. I struggled with self-harm too, and I believed all lies that the enemy would throw at me because, that's what he is. He's a liar, and he would tell me that I was not worthy, that I was trash, that I didn't deserve anything, and that I was alone. And I felt it. I felt lonely. I felt unworthy. I felt very crappy, and I just let it suck me up. And now I'm out of it. I've been able to overcome all of those battles. I know that I am going to face more because that's just life. But thank God I have overcome all of those battles. And what Pastor Bianca had said, it really spoke to me because it made me realize how true it is and how God never fails to show his mercy to us in our lives and work great things. So how I applied that to my life was that even though I went through all of those things, even though I tried to commit suicide and I ended up in a mental hospital twice, and I said stuff I shouldn't have and did all these things I shouldn't have, God is using that for his glory. Now I can say that I am alive because of Jesus, that I don't have any more scars on me because of Jesus. And even though sure they are still here, I don't have them in me, because Jesus has taken care of all my wounds. He is my doctor, and he has cured me of all of the depression that I had, of all of the anxiety, of the sadness that filled me. He took it all away and replaced it with happiness and joy that is so impactful and life-changing, and it has just literally transformed me into a new person. And something else that she had said is that although the enemy may surround us, God is surrounding the enemy. So even now, even though I'm not precisely going through a battle at the current moment, and I know I will, but even though right now I'm not exactly going through a hard time as I have in the past, the enemy is still surrounding me. He's still trying to attack me. He still throws thoughts that I shouldn't be thinking at me, and he still throws lies at me. And even though he's surrounding me, God is surrounding him. And I have the angels around me to protect me. So even though you're going through things, you have to remember that God is also surrounding your problems, and you have to let him take control. You have to put everything in his hands and just trust in the Lord, because he has good plans for you. Plans that are for you to prosper, And just remember that. And remember that the cross has the final word, and God has already won, and you are with God, so who can go against you? And I also want to remind you that there is no sin, there is no darkness, there is absolutely nothing that can separate you from the love of God. The love of God is so big and so unconditional that even at your lowest times, He will love you. It doesn't matter how upset you are, it doesn't matter how angry you are at Him, it doesn't even matter because He created you. He knows you're going to get mad at Him. I was mad at Him a lot of times, and He knows you're going to be mad at Him too. But He created you, and He can take it. And I learned that this week too, and I had never thought about it. But He created you. So if you want to be mad at Him, be mad at Him. But also let Him take control. He's going to do great things in your life if you just let Him take control. And a couple of years ago, I just want to say something else. I want to say a lot of things. Gosh, God is just so good. A couple of years ago, I went to a store called Mardale, and it's a Christian store. I'm not sure many of you may know it, but it's a Christian store, and they had a t-shirt that unfortunately I still haven't bought, but I will. So, and it said a lot of things that really had me, surprised and thinking a lot about God's goodness. And besides me telling you that everything that you've been through, God is going to use it for good, I also want to tell you that it doesn't matter how many times you've sinned, or it doesn't matter what you've done, it doesn't matter what you've said. It doesn't matter where you stand right now, God is still going to take control of it all, and you are forgiven. And this t-shirt that I saw, it said something along the lines of, how will God not use you? And then it listed a bunch of people from the Bible, a bunch of disciples that God used for His glory, but it also listed their sins. It said Noah was a drunk, Abraham was too old, Isaac was a daydreamer, Jacob was a liar, Leah was ugly, Joseph was abused, Moses had a stuttering problem, Gideon was afraid, Samson was a womanizer, Rahab was a prostitute, Jeremiah and Timothy were too young, David had an affair and he was a murderer, Elijah was suicidal, Isaiah preached naked, Jonah ran from God, Naomi was a widow, Job went bankrupt, Peter denied Christ 3 times. The disciples fell asleep while praying. Martha worried about everything. It's me. The Samaritan woman was divorced. Zacchaeus was too small. Paul was too religious. Timothy had an ulcer, and Lazarus was dead. And still, God used every single one of them for His glory. So how can God not use you? You probably haven't even done half of the things that these people have done, and God is still going to use you. God is going to use you. So, with that said, I just want to tell you that don't wait any longer. Your time is now. Don't wait for tomorrow. A lot of people say, I'm going to clean myself up before I come to Jesus because I want to come with Him with a clean slate. That's not how it works, guys. If you could clean yourself up, if you could pick yourself up all alone, you wouldn't need God. But we do. We can't do it alone. We need Jesus. We need God in our lives. We need to let Him take control, because only that way will our lives turn into a prosperous life, into a life that radiates brightness and just gives out love. And I also want to read a verse. It says it doesn't say that. It's in John 16:33. Okay. It says, I have told you these things, so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. So even though you may be going through things, just remember that Jesus has already won. And if you are with Him, who is against you? So, I love you, and take care, lovely people.